Okay, we are back, and I have seen Alien Romulus. I liked it. I thought it was okay. It basically took two Alien films and one other one and combined them into one. Okay? Almost like what the reboot of Friday the 13th did, where it took like Friday the 13th 1, 2, and 3 and mixed them together and then cranked out it as a new film. There was just no new territory as far as story-wise covered in this film. It's very disappointing in that aspect. It's just retread after retread. The visual effects were fantastic, accompanied with the prosthetic and the animatronic effects. There's been this big narrative that's being pushed that, oh, we wanted to rely on all animatronics and all this kind of stuff, and everything's animatronic, and no, it's not all animatronic. So, but it complements each other, which is what it's supposed to do. That being said, I thought the sets were fantastic. The score was fantastic. It gave a really good, rich depth to everything that was going on in the music. They actually solved a problem that I've always had in films. They get this 18, 19-year-old-ish young girl, and she gets a pulse rifle. And you're like, oh, great. How is she? She don't have a military background. She doesn't have anything. At least with in Aliens, Sigourney Weaver was taught by Michael Biehn how to use the weapon. This one guy says, hey, I read this in a book once. This is how it works. But the cool part about this was this pulse rifle had a tracking mechanism. So once you put it on and you locked onto your target, the gun tracked with it. So no matter where she shot the gun, it would find the alien, and you'd see her arm almost out of control, doing all this, shooting the pulse rifle, and she would just turn and it would find the target on its own, which solved a problem that she had no damn training to use this weapon. And I thought that was really clever. Now, why, oh why, oh why did they do another Alien Resurrection where there was this one character that was pregnant and they injected her with some black stuff from like Prometheus? You know, they were extracting things out of the aliens and trying, Weyland-Yutani, once again, trying to make a bioweapon, or in this movie, they wanted to make the people more hardy and could live in harsher environments when they terraformed planets. So let's inject them with some alien shit. And then, of course, they do it to a pregnant woman, and out comes a pod, not an alien out of her chest or anything, and it is a cross between the engineer with a Prometheus engineer face, but the body of the newborn baby in Alien Resurrection. And oh god, it was the last 10 minutes of the film sucked. It was the worst part about it. They should have just cut it off when they got on the ship and went into cryo and flew. Like they had to get this last little bit in, and I guarantee it had something to do with Ridley Scott. And when the dust all settles, you'll find out that Ridley Scott wanted to tie it into Prometheus with the engineers and all this kind of stuff and have a hybrid like Alien Resurrection. It's just no good. No good. Didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. Now, everything else in the movie was fine. It was fun. A lot of retread, at least with Alien vs. Predator. When that one Predator got hit with like mesh or something and it burned his face and gave him like a character. That's what's lacking in a lot of these movies with these aliens, is they don't have any character. Like, you knew, oh, this is the guy with the scar on his face from Alien vs. Predator because he had the scar on his face. And they tried to kind of do that with this alien, but it just, I don't know. I feel like when you just take bits and pieces, all the cool parts. Let's get a pulse rifle in here. Oh, let's get the Bilbo Baggins back in this thing. As an android. They're just cherry picking all the cool parts from the best movies and putting it in a movie and saying, here, Don't you like it? Because look, there's Bilbo Baggins. Or don't you like it? Here, it's a pulse rifle. Don't you like it? Yeah. And I think the audience is gonna love this movie for the opening weekend, and then it's gonna plummet. And I will say that it doesn't have a lot of rewatchability about it. For me personally, I'm never watching this movie again. I saw it once, it's great. But you know what I will do? I'll pop in Aliens, the James Cameron directed movie, at least once every couple of months and watch it. This one, no, I saw it in the theater. It was great. It was in PDX sound. Everything was awesome. I loved it. Had a great time. I was with friends. But in the end, this has no rewatchability. It's like Alien Resurrection. It had a good idea, good concepts, wasn't really executed as well as it should have been. And that's the problem with a lot of these films. They need to go bold and not have somebody in cryostasis that just wants to go to an off-world planet and to get away from their life. Like, they got to come up with something better as a story. And what I mean is, stop the retread over all the stuff that's come before it, okay? Just literally have aliens battling humans on a planet, and let's say it's Earth, not like Alien vs. Predator, but that Weyland-Yutani finally did what it wanted to do. It made a biological weapon and used it in warfare. Like, let's have that movie, okay? That everyone knows what the fuck aliens are because they're in hordes tearing apart, a city, and they have to go in and, nuke the place or whatever. But let's have other things happen besides, oh, people stumble on this thing. Oh, this thing hatches. Oh, it goes in someone's mouth. Oh, it goes down and then comes out of the chest. And oh, now they got to fight this bigger thing. And it's been fucking done. And I love the Alien franchise. But somebody break the fucking mold and come up with something better. The opening scene had this great moment where a salvage ship is coming in, a Weyland-Yutani salvage ship into a debris field, and they kick on the lights, and it's the Nostromo, all destroyed from when Sigourney Weaver blew it away and went off in her escape pod. And what do they find? In a cocoon, the one that she shot with the harpoon, and he became a chrysalis, and because they can live in other harsh environments like space. And then they pull the black shit out of them, like the engineers, and they start using it to try to make shit. So this happens in between when Sigourney Weaver drops that shit, blows up the Nostromo, and then this movie happens, and then 72 years later, they find Sigourney Weaver floating out in space for aliens. And so this movie kind of sets up everything that happens on LB-421 when they go back to aliens. Is they're terraforming, they're doing this stuff. They know the derelict ships there. They know all this, and they've already been experimenting in a lab, the Romulus lab, orbiting platform. That was a cool part of the movie, how they're piecing things together. But I don't always need, when I watch a movie, every hole filled. That's what's killing the Star Wars franchise. Oh, we got to explain this. We got to explain that. We got to explain this. We got to fill this hole in here and this hole in here. You don't ever have to explain shit. Sometimes that's why I think the Alien 3, for as much grief as that movie gets, was bold. It was a different story. They were like, nah, man, we're killing off these characters right at the beginning and we're putting them in a prison system, and it's one alien and he comes out of a dog. Although I think the special edition, the Criterion version, was better. He came out of an ox. But that's why he was so big. But, it's we're going to make him come out of a dog. He'll run like a dog. He'll act like a dog. He'll eat like a dog. But he's an alien. And then Sigourney knows. And then she had the queen in her. She sacrificed, grabbed that fucker and died, in the fucking furnace. That was bold as fuck. But this played it safe. Alien Romulus played it safe. It was strictly fan film. It was like fan service. It was like a fan film.